You know what's funny? How life always finds a way to teach us through absence. Not with big speeches, not with drama, but with silence, with distance, with endings that look like rejection, but are actually redirection. There was a time when you would have chased, you would have begged for understanding, explained your heart, rewritten your worth in every sentence. But something changed. You got tired of begging people to see you. You started to realize that love isn't proven by running after someone. It's proven by staying still and letting them go. Because what's meant for you doesn't need convincing. It feels like peace, not pressure, and maybe they'll never understand the depth of what you gave. Maybe they'll remember your silence one night when their noise no longer comforts them. But that's not your job anymore. Your job is to grow, to expand so much that the old version of you wouldn't even recognize herself, to outgrow the people, the patterns, the places that once felt like home, but were really cages painted with nostalgia. You're not cold. You're not cruel. You're healing. And healing doesn't always look graceful. Sometimes it looks like disappearing. Sometimes it looks like not replying. Sometimes it looks like not explaining your boundaries anymore. You used to see that as loss. Now you see it as evolution. You've outgrown chaos. You've outgrown the urge to prove your goodness to those committed to misunderstanding you. You've outgrown the need for closure from people who were never open to begin with. That's the quiet kind of power most people never reach. The kind that doesn't announce itself, it just exists. It doesn't post about peace. It is peace. You're learning to move differently now. Not from pain, but from presence. Not from fear, but from awareness. And in this new space, something magical happens. The noise fades, the heart gets lighter. You stop chasing people and start attracting peace. It's not arrogance, it's alignment. You're finally realizing that walking away isn't a sign of weakness. It's proof that you've understood your value. You don't have to fight to be seen anymore. You just have to be who you are, fully, unapologetically, quietly. Because the moment you stop chasing, the universe starts guiding. And that's when you notice, the right people don't need to be chased. They choose to walk beside you. The wrong ones, they needed your energy to survive. And when you took it back, their absence created space for your rebirth. So here's the truth. You're not being distant. You're being deliberate. You're not being detached. You're being divine. Growth doesn't always roar. Sometimes it whispers, "I'm done explaining myself." And if that makes you the villain in someone else's story, let it be. Because you finally understood, you don't have to be understood to be at peace. There's a moment in everyone's life when chasing becomes exhausting. Not because you stopped caring, but because you finally realized that real connection can't be forced. You remember when you used to text first every time? When you tried to fix things that didn't want to be fixed? When you thought that maybe if you were kinder, softer, smaller, people would stay? Yeah, that version of you was full of light. But she didn't yet understand that not everyone is ready for light. Some people live in shadows because it's safer for them there. And no matter how brightly you shine, they'll still choose the dark, not because of you, but because of who they are. That's when growth happens. Quietly, invisibly, deep inside. You stop explaining your worth. You stop auditioning for love. You stop trying to be understood by those who never even listened. And instead, you redirect all that energy inward. You start investing it into yourself. You read more. You walk alone without feeling lonely. You make peace with your solitude. And in that stillness, something shifts. You realize that you were never meant to chase people. You were meant to attract through alignment. What belongs to you doesn't run away when you stop running after it. You start noticing how the universe moves when you rest. How the right people suddenly appear the moment you stop, forcing the wrong ones to stay. How your creativity, your intuition, your entire frequency rises when you finally choose peace over panic. And the most surprising thing, the ones who doubted you start watching in silence. Because nothing confuses people more than the quiet success of someone they underestimated. They'll wonder how you're glowing again, how you're laughing again, how you built a life without them in it. But the truth is simple. You stopped giving your energy to what didn't grow you. And once you did that, everything changed. You didn't lose them. You found yourself. That's what outgrowing really means. It's not about being better than anyone. It's about becoming so aligned with your truth that chaos can't breathe in your space anymore. You start choosing peace over closure, boundaries over guilt, stillness over reaction. You stop being addicted to fixing others and finally start healing yourself. You begin to see that silence isn't emptiness. It's full of answers. Every person who left taught you something. Every no redirected you. Every rejection protected you. You used to beg life to make sense. Now you just breathe and trust that it does. You used to fight to be heard. Now you realize that not saying anything is sometimes the loudest message of all. And the best part? The peace you feel now is the kind that doesn't need to be announced. It's subtle, it's golden, it's divine. You walk differently, you talk differently. You no longer explain your boundaries, you embody them. Your silence has become your armor, but it's made of light, not bitterness. And you finally understand. What's meant for you won't require you to shrink, chase, or convince. It will find you when you are being exactly who you are. Quiet, grounded, whole. That's the power of outgrowing silently. It's not a war, it's a release. And the moment you master that, the world stops feeling heavy. You start seeing that nothing was ever lost. It was all making space for this version of you, the one who doesn't chase, the one who simply is. There's a kind of freedom that doesn't need to be loud. It doesn't show off. It doesn't demand to be seen. It just is. That's the freedom you find when you stop running after people who were never meant to stay. You start to notice how peaceful life becomes when you no longer need validation to breathe. You don't chase conversations that drain you. You don't beg to be understood. You don't shrink to fit inside someone else's comfort zone. You simply exist. And that's enough, because you've learned something sacred. The only person you ever needed to convince to stay was you. You were always the one who left first. Every time you said yes when your soul whispered no. Every time you silenced your truth to keep someone else comfortable. Every time you betrayed your own peace just to be accepted. But not anymore. Now you're staying with your growth, staying with your healing, staying with your purpose. And you're realizing that peace isn't found by chasing people or outcomes. It's found in choosing yourself again and again. This is where it gets beautiful. The people meant for you, they don't need explanations. They'll feel your energy and meet you there. The opportunities meant for you, they don't require desperation. They align when you do. The love meant for you, it doesn't confuse you, it recognizes you. Because peace attracts peace. Presence attracts presence. And wholeness attracts wholeness. You stopped being available for chaos, and suddenly your world became quieter. But in that quiet, you discovered a kind of abundance no one ever taught you to look for. It's the abundance of clarity, of waking up and not needing anyone else to tell you who you are, of walking into a room without needing to be chosen, because you already chose yourself. And when you move like that, when you carry that kind of self-awareness, the universe rearranges itself around your frequency. You stop chasing energy, and energy starts chasing you. It's not magic, it's resonance. You've tuned your soul to truth, and truth echoes back. That's why sometimes losing people isn't loss. It's alignment. It's life saying, you've leveled up. Not everyone can breathe at this altitude, so keep walking, keep growing, keep glowing quietly. Your peace is your revolution. Your boundaries are your temple. And your silence, it's not empty. It's full of grace. One day, they'll look for the version of you who used to chase and realize she doesn't exist anymore. She turned into something divine. And that's the moment you'll smile. Not out of pride, but out of peace. Because you'll know that everything you lost while chasing others was only leading you back to yourself. So don't chase. Outgrow, quietly, gracefully, deliberately. Because the ones who are meant for your energy will always find it. They'll recognize the calm. They'll feel the frequency. And they'll stay, not because you ran after them, but because your peace finally matched theirs. Take a deep breath. You made it here. You're not behind. You're not too late. You're exactly where you're meant to be. Now go live from that truth. Not chasing, not forcing, not begging, just being. Because this version of you, is the masterpiece the world needed to meet. I'm Geo, and this is Human Wave, where souls remember their strength. Now breathe and grow in silence.